Think you know the world around you? Think again.
Okay, listen up.
The solar system smells awful. Astronauts report a smell of burnt metal on their suits after spacewalks. Venus probably smells like rotten eggs from sulfur. And Uranus? Don't even ask. Hydrogen sulfide gives it a smell worse than sewage. Space may be beautiful, but it stinks. We're all riding a pale blue dot. In 1990, Voyager 1 photographed Earth from 6 billion kilometers, or 3.7 billion miles, away. It appeared as a tiny speck, a pale blue dot. Carl Sagan called it a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. Everything we are is on that dot. The sun will swallow Earth. In about 5 billion years, the sun will expand into a red giant. It may engulf Mercury, Venus, and possibly Earth. Even if Earth escapes, it'll be scorched beyond recognition. The oceans will boil. The crust will melt. Game over. Earth is unusually stable. Earth's orbit is nearly circular. Its magnetic field shields radiation. It has water, a balanced atmosphere, and a stable tilt. In a chaotic universe, Earth isn't just lucky, it's suspiciously perfect. The largest known star could fit 5 billion suns. Ton 618 is a quasar with a black hole 66 billion times the mass of the Sun. It's one of the largest objects ever found. If placed in our solar system, it would swallow everything past Pluto and beyond. We're made of star stuff. Every atom in your body, carbon, oxygen, iron, was formed in a star. When stars exploded, they scattered those elements across space. Planets formed, life began. You're not just in the universe. You are the universe. The James Webb Telescope sees the past. The James Webb Space Telescope looks so deep into space it sees light from over 13 billion years ago. It's not just a telescope, it's a time machine watching the universe being born. The universe could be infinite, or a loop. Some theories suggest the universe might curve back on itself, like a four-dimensional loop. Travel far enough in one direction, and you could end up where you started. Infinity might not be endless, just circular. Galaxies can collide, and ours is next. The Milky Way and Andromeda are set to collide in about 4 billion years. Stars are so far apart they probably won't hit, but the galaxies will merge into one larger system. Astronomers call it Milkomeda. It'll change the sky forever. Some planets shouldn't exist. Astronomers have found hot Jupiters, gas giants orbiting dangerously close to their stars. According to theory, they shouldn't form there. They likely formed far away and migrated inward. It's like finding an iceberg inside a volcano. Rogue planets drift in darkness. Some planets don't orbit stars. They drift alone through space. Some were ejected from their systems. Others never had a star to begin with. These rogue worlds float in total darkness. Cold, quiet, and invisible. There's a radio signal that won't shut up. Astronomers detected a repeating radio signal from a galaxy 800 million light-years away. It pulses every 16 days. The source? Still unknown. It could be a neutron star. It could be a black hole. Or maybe something stranger. Some stars can sing. Stars vibrate like massive instruments. These vibrations, studied in a field called astroseismology, reveal a star's size, age, and structure. We can't hear them with our ears, but with the right instruments, stars sing their secrets. Space isn't empty. It's electrified. Interstellar space looks empty, but it's full of charged particles, radiation, and magnetic fields. The solar wind, particles from the sun, forms giant shock waves as it crashes into surrounding gases. Space hums with energy. Quasars outshine entire galaxies. Quasars are the bright centers of galaxies with supermassive black holes devouring matter. Some shine with the energy of 1 trillion suns. Their jets blast thousands of light years. They're the universe's most violent lighthouses. Some galaxies are eating others. Galaxies grow by devouring smaller ones. The Milky Way is currently absorbing several dwarf galaxies. Its outer halo is made of shredded star systems. Galactic cannibalism is normal. Peaceful mergers? Rare. A planet where iron rains from the sky. WASP 76b is so hot, at over 2200 degrees Celsius, 4000 degrees Fahrenheit, that iron turns to vapor. On the cooler night side, it condenses and rains molten metal. It's the galaxy's worst weather forecast. Aliens probably don't look like us. Forget green men. Life on other worlds might be built on ammonia, methane, or silicon instead of carbon. With different gravity and chemistry, aliens could be microbial blobs, intelligent crystals, or something we can't imagine. Time slows. Near massive objects. According to Einstein, gravity bends time. The stronger the gravity, the slower time moves. Clocks on satellites tick faster than clocks on Earth. Astronauts age a tiny bit slower in orbit. Time isn't fixed, it flexes. Your GPS wouldn't work without relativity. GPS satellites orbit where gravity is weaker. Time moves slightly faster for them than on Earth. Engineers adjust their clocks to keep navigation accurate. Without Einstein's equations, GPS would drift 10 kilometers or 6 miles every day. The coldest known temperature in the solar system isn't on Pluto, it's right on our moon. At the South Pole, in deep, permanently shadowed craters, temperatures drop to minus 397 degrees Fahrenheit. That's only a few degrees above absolute zero, where atoms practically stop moving. These zones are so cold they've trapped ice for billions of years. On Neptune, the wind howls at 1,600 miles per hour. That's twice the speed of sound, faster than a fighter jet, even faster than a bullet. But how does it happen? Neptune's atmosphere is made of methane and hydrogen with very little friction. There's no land to slow it down, just pure chaotic energy spiraling nonstop around a frozen gas giant. Saturn's not the only ringmaster. Sure, Saturn's rings are epic, 175,000 miles wide, and made of icy chunks the size of mountains. But Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune also wear rings. They're just dimmer and dustier, made of fine particles. Saturn just happens to show off the most, and it might have gained those rings from a destroyed moon. If you had a bathtub big enough, Saturn would float in it. Why? Because it's mostly made of gas, hydrogen, and helium, and its average density is less than water. But don't get any ideas. The crushing pressure at Saturn's core would still destroy anything trying to swim through it. Europa, a moon of Jupiter, hides a salty ocean beneath its icy crust, possibly 100 miles deep. That's 10 times deeper than the Mariana Trench. What's fueling it? Heat from tidal flexing, caused by Jupiter's gravity. That warmth could make it a breeding ground for alien microbes. Think, Earth's deep-sea vents, but darker and bigger. Mars has a tornado problem. Mars experiences swirling dust devils that can tower miles high, some even taller than Mount Everest. Unlike Earth's tornadoes, they're silent and dry, formed by rapid surface heating. These Martian twisters have even cleaned solar panels on rovers like Spirit and Opportunity, accidental cosmic janitors. Jupiter's moon. Io is the most volcanically active object in the solar system. It's covered in lava lakes and eruptions that blast material straight into space. The culprit? Jupiter's crushing gravity. It flexes Io so hard that the interior literally heats from friction. This moon is a planetary pressure cooker. When a massive star explodes, its core collapses into a neutron star. An object so dense a single teaspoon weighs over 1 billion tons. Some spin up to 600 times per second. That's faster than your blender, only it's made of nuclear matter. The universe is expanding faster than the speed of light. That means there are stars whose light will never reach Earth, not in 10 billion years. Not ever. Our visible universe is shrinking. There are parts of space we will simply never see. Saturn's moon. Iapetus looks like a cosmic Oreo. One side pitch black, the other icy white. Scientists think thermal migration causes this. The dark side heats up, ice evaporates, and recondenses on the cold side. The result? A two-faced moon that can't decide who it is. All the planets could fit between Earth and the moon. Yes, you heard that right. Every planet from Mercury to Neptune could line up between Earth and the moon, with room to spare. The moon is 240,000 miles away. The total width of all the planets adds up to about 238,000 miles. Even close distances in space are absurd. Jupiter has a ghostly aurora. Jupiter's poles glow with auroras stronger than anything on Earth. But they're not made by solar wind. Instead, they're powered by the volcanic moon Io. The constant eruptions eject particles that spiral along Jupiter's magnetic field, lighting up the poles in a haunting ultraviolet dance. Nature's neon, alien style. Space is quiet, but not silent. Space is a vacuum. No air means no sound. But NASA can convert electromagnetic waves into audio files. The result? Strange tones and haunting howls from stars, planets, and black holes. It's the sound of the universe. If you had alien ears. The sun's atmosphere makes no sense. The sun's core is an inferno. At the center of the sun, temperatures reach 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. This is where nuclear fusion happens. Hydrogen atoms smashing into each other to form helium, releasing more energy each second than a billion nuclear bombs. That's your daily sunshine. The energy made in the sun's core doesn't go straight out. It takes about 170,000 years to bounce its way through dense plasma to the surface. Once it's free, it takes about 8 minutes to reach Earth. That sunlight on your skin? It started its journey before humans even existed. Mind-blowing, right? The sun's surface, the photosphere, isn't solid. It's a 300-mile thick shell of blazing plasma, burning at about 5,500 degrees Celsius, 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is where sunspots rage, solar flares erupt, and sunlight finally escapes. After 170,000 years trapped inside, it's not a surface, it's a storm of fire. The corona, or the sun's outer atmosphere, reaches about 1.9 million degrees Celsius, 3.5 million degrees Fahrenheit. That's far hotter than the surface itself. Scientists still aren't sure why. The best guess? Magnetic fields snap and release energy in giant bursts. Jupiter's core might be dissolving. Deep inside Jupiter, its solid core may be melting into surrounding metallic hydrogen. Scientists believe intense pressure and heat are dissolving rock and ice, blending the core into the fluid layers above. Jupiter might not have a sharp center, just a massive swirling soup of elements under crushing force. Mercury doesn't have a real atmosphere. Instead, it has an exosphere, a wispy cloud of atoms blasted off its surface by solar radiation. There's no weather, no wind, just occasional particles drifting into space. Mars once had a global magnetic field, like Earth's, which protected its atmosphere and allowed liquid water to flow, but billions of years ago, it vanished. Without that shield, solar wind stripped Mars bare, transforming it from a wet world to the dry, dusty desert we see today. What's inside Venus? Venus has an iron core about 2,400 miles wide, a molten mantle, and a crust between 6 and 12 miles thick. Structurally, it's a lot like Earth, but its fate was very different. Every lander we've sent there has been melted or crushed in hours. Venus has lightning without rain. Venus flashes with intense lightning, but unlike Earth, there's no rain, only clouds of sulfuric acid and a choking carbon dioxide sky. These dry lightning storms crackle above its surface, fueled by turbulent winds and volcanic activity. It's not just hot, it's electrically unstable and violently unpredictable. Pluto has blue skies and red snow. Despite being so far from the sun, Pluto has a thin atmosphere that scatters sunlight, making its skies appear blue. Even weirder? It snows, but the snow is red, made of nitrogen and methane particles that fall and freeze. It's a frozen world. Most of the moon's major craters formed between 3.8 and 4.1 billion years ago. During a period called the Late Heavy Bombardment, asteroids smashed the inner solar system, and the moon still bears the scars. It's a fossilized battlefield in orbit. Voyager 1 is still talking to us. Launched in 1977 and is now more than 14 billion miles from Earth. The most distant human-made object ever, it's in interstellar space still sending back data, carrying a golden record just in case it meets extraterrestrial life. The biggest water tank in the universe. 12 billion light-years away, astronomers found a cloud of water vapor holding 140 trillion times more water than all of Earth's oceans. It surrounds a black hole and fuels a quasar, the cosmic engine, brighter than a galaxy. Kelt 9b is one of the hottest exoplanets ever discovered. With a temperature around 4,300 degrees Celsius, 7,800 degrees Fahrenheit. It's so close to its star that its atmosphere is boiling off into space. It's not just uninhabitable, it's disintegrating. The moon spins slowly. One full lunar day from one sunrise to the next takes about 29 Earth days. That means 2 weeks of sunlight followed by 2 weeks of freezing darkness. The moon's far side is a whole different beast. The moon isn't symmetrical. The far side of the moon, which we never see from Earth, is rougher, thicker, and packed with craters. It has fewer lava plains and more highlands because its crust is up to 20 kilometers, about 12 miles, thicker than the near side. Scientists think ancient impacts and uneven internal cooling shape this split personality. It's like two different worlds glued into one. The moon rings like a bell. When Apollo astronauts dropped seismic equipment on the moon, they recorded something strange. After the impacts, the moon vibrated for hours like a bell. No sound in space, but the seismic waves revealed a rigid, dry interior. Earth shakes. The moon hums. The star that escaped a black hole. A red giant got too close to a black hole, 400,000 times the mass of the sun, and survived. Sort of. The black hole stripped its outer layers, but the core became a white dwarf, locked in a tight orbit circling every 9 hours. It's still there, slowly being torn apart. Eventually, it'll shrink into a dead rock the size of Jupiter, but not for another 1 trillion years. Black holes are everywhere. The Milky Way may contain hundreds of millions of black holes. Nearly every galaxy has a supermassive black hole at its core. They range from a few to billions of times the sun's mass. These aren't rare monsters. They're standard cosmic infrastructure. The nearest black hole is just 1,600 light-years away, about 9.4 trillion kilometers, or 5.9 trillion miles. It hides in a star system visible to the naked eye. Astronomers found it when they noticed a star spinning too fast. Something invisible was pulling on it. That something was a black hole. A black hole that eats suns. One black hole weighs 34 billion times more than the sun. It swallows the mass of an entire star every day. Not figuratively, literally. It's one of the hungriest objects in the universe. Black holes eat each other. Black holes don't just orbit, they collide. When they merge, they send gravitational waves rippling through space-time. We've detected those waves. They're proof that the universe crashes and rearranges itself all the time. Black holes can't reach us, yet. Even the biggest black holes are harmless from a distance. One would have to pass inside Neptune's orbit to affect Earth. That won't happen for billions of years. But if it ever does, space itself would rip before you even notice. Why the sun will never become a black hole. Any object can become a black hole if compressed enough, but the sun doesn't have the mass. It'll swell into a red giant, shed its outer layers, and die quietly. What's left will be a white dwarf, not a monster, just a glowing ember. Space junk is real and dangerous. More than 500,000 pieces of human-made debris orbit Earth. Bolts, paint chips, and dead satellites. At 28,000 kilometers per hour or 17,500 miles per hour, even a flake of metal can pierce a spacecraft. NASA tracks all the space objects to prevent collisions. More stars than grains of sand. The Milky Way holds over 200 billion stars. The observable universe? More than 1 billion trillion. That's a 1 followed by 21 zeros. More stars than grains of sand on Earth. Let that sink in. Earth didn't always have a moon. The moon formed after a Mars-sized object slammed into Earth. The impact launched debris into orbit. That rubble fused into our moon. One of the most violent events in Earth's history gave us our loyal satellite. Flying to the nearest star? Good luck! Proxima Centauri is 4.2 light-years away. That's about 40 trillion kilometers, or 25 trillion miles. A commercial jet would take 5 million years to get there. Even light takes over 4 years. Crossing the Milky Way takes ages. The Milky Way spans 105,700 light-years across. Traveling at the speed of light, it would still take 100,000 years to cross. We live in a single galaxy, and we'll never see all of it. The Sun is a featherweight. Next to this star, UY Scuti is over 1,700 times wider than our Sun. If placed at the center of our solar system, it would reach beyond Jupiter. You could fit over 1 million Earths inside the Sun, but you'd need 5 billion to fill UY Scuti. The universe is built on gravity. Stars form galaxies. Galaxies form clusters. Clusters form superclusters. And everything is held together by gravity. The biggest one ever found? The Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall. Over 10 billion light-years wide. Mars is a giant of landmarks. Olympus Mons is the tallest volcano in the solar system, 3 times taller than Mount Everest. Valle Marineris is a canyon 7 times longer than the Grand Canyon. And Hellas Basin is a crater big enough to swallow half the Amazon. Mars breaks records. The axis of evil in space. The universe should be random, but something's off. Cosmic background radiation shows a strange alignment. Scientists call it the axis of evil. No one knows what it means, but it shouldn't be there. Black holes fire matter into space. Some black holes spin so fast they launch jets of particles. These beams shoot out at nearly the speed of light. They stretch for thousands of light years. That's not just gravity, that's weaponized energy. Something's dragging our galaxy. The Milky Way is moving towards something massive. It's called the Great Attractor. We can't see it clearly. It's hidden behind the galactic plane. Some say it's dark matter. Others say it's something we've never imagined. Venus spins backward and slowly. Venus rotates clockwise, the opposite of Earth, and it spins incredibly slowly. One day on Venus takes 243 Earth days, and a year on Venus is only 225 days. Earth has a second mini-moon. Earth shares its orbit with a tiny asteroid called 3753 Cruithne. It's not a true moon, but it loops around us in a weird horseshoe pattern. It's been hanging around for centuries. The moon isn't as dead as it looks. It shakes. Lunar quakes, some lasting for more than 10 minutes, have been recorded by Apollo instruments. These quakes are triggered by tidal forces from Earth, thermal expansion, and maybe even meteor impacts. The moon may be silent, but it's not still. The coldest place in the universe. The Boomerang Nebula is the coldest known place in nature. Temperatures hit minus 272.5 degrees Celsius or minus 457 degrees Fahrenheit. That's colder than space itself. Venus is hotter than Mercury, even though it's farther from the Sun. The reason? A runaway greenhouse effect. Surface temperatures hit 465 degrees Celsius, or 870 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a full-time furnace. A day on Mercury is 2 years long. Mercury rotates slowly. One day lasts 176 Earth days, but it orbits the Sun in just 88 days. You'd see 2 Mercury years pass before the same sunrise returned. That's what time looks like near the Sun. You couldn't stand on Jupiter. Jupiter looks solid, but it has no surface. Fall in and you'll sink through layers of gas, then liquid hydrogen. Then you'll be crushed by pressure. There's no ground. Ice, where you least expect it. Mercury, the planet closest to the Sun, has ice. So does the Moon. But how? Some craters near their poles never see sunlight. They stay in permanent shadow, creating cold traps that preserve ice over billions of years. Even in the heat of the inner solar system, space finds a way to freeze. The hunt for Planet 9. Something's pulling on distant objects in our solar system. Their orbits don't make sense, unless there's a massive hidden planet way out past Neptune. Planet 9 might be 5 to 10 times the size of Earth, but so far, no confirmed sightings. It's either incredibly dark, absurdly distant, or doesn't exist at all. Where did Earth's water, and possibly life, come from? One theory: comets. These icy space rocks contain water, carbon, and organic molecules. And when they smashed into early Earth, they might have seeded the planet with life's building blocks. A chaotic cosmic delivery service. At Saturn's North Pole, a 6-sided storm, the hexagon, has raged for decades. It's 20,000 miles wide and spins like a hurricane, but shaped like a perfect geometric figure. Scientists think it's caused by high-speed jet streams colliding. Nature doesn't do straight edges, except here. Mercury and Venus are the only 2 planets without moons. Why? Probably because they're too close to the Sun. Its gravity either prevents moons from forming or would rip them away if they did. So they orbit alone, moonless, while outer planets collect dozens. Jupiter doesn't just have moons, it has a moon army. 79 confirmed. Ganymede, the largest, is bigger than Mercury and has its own magnetic field. Some of Jupiter's moons are volcanic, some icy, and a few might even have subsurface oceans. It's a solar system all on its own. The Milky Way's true shape. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, is a barred spiral 100,000 light-years wide. It's home to over 100 billion stars and a supermassive black hole at the center. We live on a spiral arm, spinning around it every 225 million years. That means Earth has only gone around the galaxy about 20 times. Ever. Lunar footprints last forever. Because the moon has no wind or rain, there's nothing to erase footprints or tire tracks. So every step taken by Apollo astronauts is still there, and could remain for up to 100 million years. The moon is a giant time capsule of human history. White holes, opposite of black holes. Imagine a black hole that spits matter out instead of pulling it in. That's a white hole, the theoretical twin of a black hole. In Einstein's equations, they exist, but we've never observed one. Some theories even suggest black holes might lead to white holes in alternate universes. Triton, Neptune's largest moon, orbits backward. the only major moon in the solar system to do so. It likely didn't form there. Neptune probably stole it from the Kuiper Belt. Its strange orbit might one day send it crashing into Neptune, or tearing apart into rings. We see almost nothing. The stars you see at night? That's only a few thousand out of the hundreds of billions in our galaxy. Light from more distant stars hasn't reached us yet, or it's too faint. The universe is huge, but your eyeballs are seeing a pinhole through the curtain. Cosmic dance partners. Charon is half the size of Pluto, so big that they orbit each other, not just one orbiting the other. The center of gravity between them lies in open space. It's more like a binary system than a classic planet-moon setup. Most of the universe is missing. Everything we can see, with stars, planets, galaxies, people, is only 4% of the universe. The rest? 27% dark matter, 69% dark energy. We can't touch it, see it, or measure it directly, but it's affecting gravity on galactic scales. Basically, the universe is running on 96% mystery. The darkest planet ever found. Meet Tries 2b, a gas giant so dark it reflects less than 1% of the starlight that hits it. That's darker than coal, darker than acrylic black paint. In fact, it's the darkest exoplanet ever discovered. Located about 750 light-years away in the constellation Draco, Tries 2b orbits its star so closely, its atmosphere reaches over 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. That's approximately 982 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt aluminum. Yet, despite this extreme heat, it doesn't glow. It doesn't shine. It simply absorbs light, like a cosmic shadow. Scientists suspect light-absorbing chemicals like vaporized sodium or potassium might be cloaking it, but truth is, we still don't fully understand how something so hot can be so invisible. A world of fire and ice. 55 Cancri E is tidally locked. One side permanently faces its star, while the other stays in eternal darkness. The hot side, covered in molten lava. The cold side, frozen solid. It's a lava world on one side and a frozen void on the other. If you stood in the middle, you'd melt and freeze at the same time. HD 1893. 3b has a deep blue atmosphere, stunning at first glance. But that beauty is a lie. This alien world rains molten glass sideways, slicing across the skies like liquid blades. The cause? Winds roaring at over 5,400 miles per hour. That's nearly 7 times the speed of sound. Nothing on Earth compares. This isn't weather. It's a planet-wide execution wrapped in sapphire skies. You wouldn't last a second. Some unlucky planets orbit pulsars, the remnants of exploded stars that blast powerful radiation beams. These beams erode atmospheres, destroy surfaces, and shred anything nearby. It's like orbiting a giant microwave. If your planet's near a pulsar, it's toast. Hotter than the sun's surface. Kepler 70b is a tiny exoplanet that shouldn't exist. It once orbited inside its own star and somehow survived. Now it races around that star in just a few hours, enduring a mind-melting 27 million degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than the surface of the sun itself, which sits at about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. By all logic, this world should have been vaporized, but it didn't die. It adapted, it endured. It's cosmic insanity in planetary form. Mars is crowded with robots. 6 active missions currently operate on Mars, including rovers, helicopters, and orbiters like the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. More technology is deployed on Mars than some nations possess on Earth. We're no longer just exploring Mars, we're colonizing it with machines. The Sun is a monster. The Sun contains 99.86% of all mass in our solar system. You could fit 1.3 million Earths inside it. Its gravity holds every planet, asteroid, and comet in place. We orbit it because we literally can't escape. The Moon is drifting away. The Moon moves 3.8 centimeters or 1.5 inches farther from Earth each year. In the distant future, it won't be large enough to block the Sun during an eclipse. We're living in a lucky era of perfect alignments. Uranus spins sideways. Uranus is tilted 98 degrees, so it rolls around the Sun on its side. Its poles point almost directly at the Sun. Scientists think a massive impact knocked it over billions of years ago. That tilt creates 42-year-long seasons of sunlight and darkness at each pole. Without a suit, the vacuum of space will make your blood boil at body temperature. Not because it's hot, but because there's no pressure to keep it liquid. You'd lose consciousness in 15 seconds. No explosions, just a quiet, brutal decompression. Earth is moving through space at 1.3 million miles per hour. Earth spins at 1,600 kilometers per hour, 1,000 miles per hour, orbits the Sun at 107,000 kilometers per hour, 67,000 miles per hour, and our solar system zips through the galaxy at over 828,000 kilometers per hour, 514,000 miles per hour. So the total speed, 2.1 million kilometers per hour, 1.3 million miles per hour. The edge of the observable universe is 46 billion light-years away. The universe is 13.8 billion years old, but we can see galaxies 46 billion light-years away. Why? Because space itself is expanding faster than light. The light left long ago, but the space between us grew. Ever since Sputnik launched in 1957, we've been exploring space. We've orbited Earth, landed on the Moon, visited every planet, and now have robotic scouts crawling across Mars. That's over 6 decades of spaceflight, and we're just getting started. At SciFacts Info, your go-to channel for fascinating and educational facts. From interesting trivia to mind-blowing discoveries, we deliver bite-sized content designed to entertain and inform curious minds.